I tricked my kindergarten students into drinking vodka. Hey, it's Mr. Johnson, a kindergarten teacher, just trying to bring joy into my students' lives. It was a rainy afternoon, and my classroom was filled with sad faces and frowns. I knew there had to be a way to cheer them up. So I started brainstorming ideas. After a few short minutes, I thought of one. I was hesitant at first, but I thought I would give it a try. I knew I had a leftover bottle of vodka in my closet, as well as a few stacks of Solo cups. So I poured up a small portion of alcohol into each of the cups. Not thinking much of it at the time, I gave it to my students. They were curious and wanted to know what it was. Some were anxious and unwilling to give it a try. But I really wanted to cheer them up, so I told them it was a secret and they had to try it to find out themselves. And that sure did the job. They gulped that down in an instant. In no time, I could tell they were starting to feel the effects. One student tried standing up and fell directly on his head, while others were completely knocked out. I was starting to get worried when I couldn't get them to listen to me. It was almost time for them to leave, and they were barely conscious. As the bell rang and they didn't budge, I knew I was fucked. I had to get out of there, so I grabbed my keys and rushed out the back. To my surprise, I was stopped by the principal. He was curious why I was in such a rush. I told him I had a doctor's appointment and that I was going to be late. Unfortunately for me, he didn't buy it. I was later arrested and convicted for a felony. I knew I had done something messed up, but in the end I was just trying to cheer them up.
My grandson pushed me off the Eiffel Tower. My name is Richard Samuel. I was an elderly grandpa on a well-deserved vacation in Paris with my beloved grandson, looking forward to experiencing the wonders of the iconic Eiffel Tower together. As we reached the top of the Eiffel Tower, my heart swelled with pride, not just for the breathtaking view, but also for the opportunity to share this moment with my grandson. However, as I stood there, savoring the sights, a sinister darkness crept into his eyes. Without warning, my grandson pushed me off the edge. Shock and disbelief gripped me as I plummeted through the air, the wind howling in my ears. In that terrifying moment, I couldn't fathom why he would commit such a heinous act. As I fell, my life flashed before me. I remembered the joy we shared, the love we had for each other. It was hard to grasp that the person I cherished the most had become my attacker. By some miracle, I landed on a lower platform, escaping death's grip. I was left battered and broken, both physically and emotionally. It was difficult to comprehend the betrayal I had experienced. Afterwards, I tried confronting my grandson, seeking answers to this unimaginable act. Unfortunately, he wouldn't respond, so I knew I had to find another way to receive answers. As I took a minute to think, a brilliant idea popped into my head. It wasn't a pretty one, but it would get the job done. I had to give him a taste of his own medicine. So I grabbed him and carried him up to the roof of the hospital. I knew if he got seriously hurt, he would be in good hands. I held him over the edge and tried to get an answer, but he didn't say a word. So I dropped him, only expecting a few broken bones. But to my surprise, he landed on his head and died instantly. Oops.
I gave my dog AIDS after falling in the shower. My name is Mike Hunt, and I was taking a shower when suddenly a bar of soap slipped from my grasp, and in a clumsy attempt to catch it, I lost my footing. My feet flew out from under me, and I landed with an unseemly thud on the shower floor. Pain radiated through my body, but it was the metallic taste in my mouth that alerted me to the source. I slowly reached up, feeling the warm trickle of blood flowing from my nose. The sight startled me, but I knew I had to act quickly. I grabbed a nearby towel and applied gentle pressure, hoping to stem the flow, but it was too late. Blood rushed down my face and landed on the floor of my bathroom, and without hesitation, my dog Richard licked it off the floor. A few weeks went by and my dog started to become severely ill. I also did not feel very well, so we both went to the doctor together. Dr. Johnson conducted a thorough examination, carefully checking my vital signs, and conducted various tests. I could sense he was about to share his unsettling findings with me. Taking a deep breath, Dr. Johnson delivered the news that me and Richard both had AIDS. It was the worst possible news we could have heard because we both died a couple months later.